I'm going to keep this straightforward because deciding on a drain cleaning machine feels a lot like deciding whether to hire a plumber or try to fix it yourself. If you've ever stood over a clogged kitchen sink, washed a bathtub back up, or tried to clear a yard drain with a hand crank auger and ended up with more mess than solution, you know the frustration. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. And I'm here to walk through whether the RIDGID K1500B is the tool that actually cuts the problem down to size without breaking the bank. First off, let's talk about the kind of work this machine is built for. The K1500B is a 3/4 horsepower, portable drum-type auger that runs on 120-volt AC power. It's not a tiny handheld unit you can slip into a kitchen drawer, but it's also not a massive trailer-mounted system you need a crew to move. In my experience, the sweet spot for a homeowner who does occasional plumbing work or a small business handyman who needs to service a handful of residential properties falls right in this middle ground. You get enough torque to bite through typical residential pipe blockages, think hair, grease, and small tree roots without needing to rent a commercial-grade machine that costs several $1,000s. One of the first concerns anyone has is setup time. A lot of the larger augers require you to read a manual, assemble a bunch of brackets, and then figure out how to attach the cable before you ever get to the first job. The RIDGID's frame design actually does the heavy lifting for you. The frame holds the drum and motor in a rigid, low-profile housing, and the cable sits in a guided channel that prevents it from kinking. When you pull the cable out, the drum rotates smoothly, and you can start cleaning within a few minutes. In practice, I've gone from unpacking the box to having the machine ready to run in under 10 minutes, which is a big win on a busy day when a client calls with an emergency. Changing the clutch jaw is another place where many users stumble. On lower-end models, you can spend half an hour wrestling with bolts, and you often end up with a mismatched jaw that can't grip the cable securely. RIDGID's Easy Clutch Jaw Changeout is literally a quick-release lever that drops the old jaw and snaps a new one into place without tools. I tested it on a 3-inch cast iron pipe that was full of old sand and sawdust. After a few rotations, the jaw held firm, and I could pull the cable back without it slipping. That reliability matters when you're in a crawl space, and every extra minute adds to the discomfort. Now, let's get real about power. A 3/4 HP motor sounds modest on paper, but on a 120-volt outlet it delivers a surprisingly aggressive pull. On a clogged kitchen drain that had a mix of food particles and a bit of soap scum, the machine broke through the obstruction in under a minute. On the other hand, if you're dealing with a municipal-sized main line that's been choked by a large tree root, you'll feel the motor strain and the cable may start to whip. That's not a flaw, it's an indication that you're pushing the tool beyond its intended scope. For most residential jobs, though, that motor size hits the sweet spot between torque and energy consumption. Cable options are a practical consideration that often gets glossed over. RIDGID ships the K1500B with a 30-foot 5/8-inch CH cable, but the drum accepts longer or smaller diameter cables if you need to reach deeper or work in tighter pipes. In a real-world scenario, I swapped the standard cable for a 50-foot 3/8-inch CH line to clear a backyard drainage ditch that ran under a concrete slab. The longer cable gave me the reach I needed, and the drum handled the extra length without wobbling. The trade-off is that a longer, thinner cable can be more prone to kinking if you force it around tight bends, so you still need to plan your path. Who should consider buying this machine? If you're a DI enthusiast who has already tackled basic clogs with a hand auger, and you're looking to step up to something that can handle tougher blockages without renting equipment, the K1500B is a solid investment. It also makes sense for a small plumbing service that needs a portable unit to move between jobs, especially when the job sites don't have a 240-volt supply. The value comes from the combination of a sturdy frame, quick setup, and the ability to change jaws on the fly, features that save time and reduce the frustration of repeated disassembly. Who should skip it? If you're a professional contractor who regularly services multi-unit buildings or commercial properties, you'll likely need a larger drum capacity, higher horsepower, and the ability to